Hi, welcome back. In this session, let us look into Git Clone. For cloning, we need to get the URL from the repository. We will be using the github.com repository.
I'm Kumar and welcome to my channel on tech and tutorials.
Git Clone is kind of used to create a copy of an existing repository. And internally, Git Clone will actually do a git init on the new repository, on the directory, and create a new repository. And then it will copy the data from the existing repository from where you are trying to pull. So Git Clone has got a lot of options. If you go to the official documentation of Git Clone, you can see there are so many options. We will be looking into a couple of them, but the most popular one is usually the Git Clone and the repository URL. So for cloning, we need to get the URL. For the URL, you can just click on the clone or download and you can copy this whole URL here. You can just click on this button in here and it will copy it in your clipboard. And then let us move on to our current file system, our local file system, and open our git bash prompt. And in the git bash prompt, we will type git clone and the whole URL here. So let us do the shallow clone option where it will clone a selected or specified number of commits. We don't want to clone the whole repository because it's quite big and there are 13,000 commits and 68 branches in here. It's going to be quite huge and it's going to take time. So for that you can use a git clone option called depth. We will be using that option for our clone. So let's come back here and let us update our git clone command with depth -depth equals to, say for example 10. We are doing a shallow clone of 10 commits only, and then we will paste the repository URL and hit enter. So this will download the code from GitHub and it will put it in our local system. So this is going to clone only the last 10 commits. So our clone is completed, and let's move on to the folder here. So it would have created a folder called React. Let us go inside the folder and let us do git log -1 line, and you should see 10 commits in here. You can actually do a count and you should see there are 10 commits in here. So total there are 10 commits here. So that's how you can clone. So now that we have cloned, we are having only 10 commits in here. If you want to update your code base and fetch it again from GitHub, you can do what the command you can do is git fetch, and it will, if there is any update in the GitHub repository here after our clone, it will update our local system here. We are not allowed to push in because that would require authorization and all, but you can anyways update your local branch using the git fetch command. So since we have cloned it using a shallow, the fetch will also be updated only last 10 commits only. Now let us pull down the full code base. That is, we will unshallow and do a fetch. Do a git fetch and do unshallow, and this will download all the code whatever is there in GitHub. This is going to take some time, so I'm going to pause it and come back. Okay, so this has finished pulling all the whole repository from GitHub. Now if we see a git log, and you should see all the commits, and we'll do a one line and we can see the total number of commits using this pipe and counting the lines. So it's like 13,172, which is actually matching here, 13,172 commits if you see here with our command. And if you want to see the git config here, so you can see the git config here, and you should see all the what is the remote origin URL and the fetch, where it is fetching from, and what is the branch and all, what is the master branch, and remote, what is the name of the remote URL, which is origin. So there is a command git remote, and you should see origin, and if you do -v you should see the full URL. This is the fetch and this is the push. You can also see the git tags, what are the tags in this repository with this git tag command, and it will show you all this repository. Actually, you can see all the tags from here as well. You can go to branch master and you can see all the tags here. So all the tags are here, and here you see all the branches here. So that's all in this session. We have seen how to clone a remote repository in our local machine. Thank you so much.